Today we have a conversation with the young leader who is confident in himself, in his faith, and in his team. A guy that I've known for quite some time, so it only made sense for me to phone a friend. In this two-part episode, we will get to truly know who is the maestro of Flint. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary people, the Play My Mood platform presents In Conversation from Artist to Artist, feimstro. With me as your host, Phill. Now let the show begin.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here, man.
Glad to have you, right? So, let's start off. feimstro.
Right.
What is it?
So, my last name is Feimster, you know, and it's funny because, you know, a lot of the ladies would just call me by my last name, and I couldn't stand it. I really didn't like my last name coming up because nobody had it. Like, I didn't know any Feimster. I'm pretty sure nobody watching this or is in this room, my man back there, has ever heard of the name Feimster. You know what I'm saying? And so I would conduct orchestra. I would do songwriting. I would, you know, play piano, songs, you know, different things like that. And my boy from Grand Rapids, he was like, man, you're like a maestro. And I was like, man, you know, I don't really, I don't really care for being called, you know, a maestro. And so he was like, well, how about you just combine them, you know, Feimster and maestro. And that's where the name feimstro had came from. And even in when I spell it, when I do it, when I brand it, it's a lowercase f for a reason, to symbolize that it's not about me, it's about something greater than I. So whenever I tell people, hey, you know, it's lowercase f, EIMSTRO, whenever they're trying to find me on social media and things like that. So that's where the name.
Well, correct?
Yeah.
Why the period?
Oh, well, I mean, sometimes it's period, but most of the time it's just feimstro.
Okay, got you. Well, so when did you start using that name? Going by that name?
So last year I came out with a project entitled the COVID Project.
We'll go into that. But I want to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Anthony, where did this talent come from?
Oh, man. Church. Well, my mother's side of my family is musically inclined. My dad's side was athletically inclined. Okay. So I did sports all through high school, but I also did music. And I would honestly have to say that, you know, my mom sung, my grandmother played the piano, my uncle, my aunts, they play. Everyone in my mom's side can either sing, play an instrument, or do both. Okay. And so I just so happened to be one that did both. So, yeah, man.
When did you learn?
Well, I played drums first in church. That's where everything kind of started for me. So just being in that environment, that culture kind of just really put me in a place to where it was like always around me. So I played drums early as, man, I was 6 years old. But there's a rare clip of me playing the organ when I was like 3 years old in Memphis. Wow. It's on VHS somewhere. I have it. I'm gonna have to find it for when I put together my documentary.
You was playing it, or you was just, man, you was just hitting the key or two?
It might have been both. You know, I'm gonna be honest.
Was it in rhythm? If it was in rhythm, we'd give it to you.
Oh, yeah, I always had rhythm, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but as a kid, you know, you just experimenting. I don't really think it was, you know, geared towards like, you know, right. You know, I wasn't one of those kids, but I do believe just by being exposed to different genre and different music early on, it kind of birthed the concept into today's feimstro.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So it leads you through high school. Did you really pursue it in high school like that?
Well, in high school, it was all about sports, trying to be funny guy, you know.
What high school, by the way?
The best school in the world, Flint Northern High School, actually.
Where's that
at? He's trying to be funny here.
Oh.
Wait, what school did you go to?
Flint Powers.
Oh, man. Oh, God. They're a good school.
Yeah.
You know, but no, in high school, man, I had I was doing drums, and like I just started learning keys, but it wasn't nothing I was like, oh man, like, you know, I'm trying to make serious. It was like just tinkering around. But I did drums like full time. Like I was a heavy drummer in high school. And then I started,
Band?
merging my way into
No band?
no band. No, I was because I played football.
Right.
So I couldn't do both. I was like, I would just play football, and then when I finished, I was like, okay, cool. Started getting more serious about it, about keys, and then kind of going from there. So,
Okay. So college, right? And
which is where we met, man.
True.
Where
True.
we met.
And
It's so crazy.
For me, I was really trying to rack my brain on, is there a significant moment? I kind of always felt like you didn't like me.
Oh my God.
Like I wouldn't say like me, but like it wasn't. I feel like you just had better things to do with your time. You was on a mission. Like either you was going to class,
Oh man.
or you was in that practice room.
Yeah,
and you was
man.
in that practice room a lot, because you know I was public safety, so I was in there, and I'd just be like, okay, I see.
Oh,
Okay,
man,
next
I
day
forgot
he's still
about
in
that.
there. Did he go home? You know what I'm saying? So
Dude, I forgot all about that, dude. Like, no, like, all jokes aside, man, I have to say, man, in college, that was really a moment of, like, true discovery of myself. Because, like, it was, like, that first time I was, like, not really under any true supervision or, like, oh, man, we go to the bathroom without any, like, oh, shoot, it's a wrap. I wasn't in dorms, but I still had a mind of, can you either can choose to be successful or you can be these failures that everybody talked about for your whole senior year. That time is coming up. And I think that's kind of like what driven me to push as hard as I did and meet the people that I did, like Terrence Smith, Tyler Robinson, Sam Dones, a lot of different
and
musicians.
I was just finna mention that, because were you a work study student as well?
No.
See, but you were always there, like you
Yeah.
were, and that was crazy to me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this dude is on something different, man.
Yeah, man.
And
I just wanted it, man.
And then you had like different concert series and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very involved.
Yeah, man. It was, I remember one concert, Dr. Miller, shout out to Dr. Miller, when I was crying in theory, she came and got me in, the little lounge right across from Jeff's office.
Right.
I was crying like a girl, and she came and got me like, you're going to be great. Don't you understand that? Don't you see that? And I was like, man, no, you giving me the problem, you know what I'm saying? But I would have to say, those times were just life-changing, man. It really put me in a place of realizing what was important and really moving from there, man. Just grinding it out. Grinding it out, And then I had people like Rufus Ferguson and Jack McDonald and,
Because what? The my opportunity opened doors for more opportunities, right?
Right.
Now, because you went to a different school
Right.
after you graduated. Where did you go and how did that come about? And how making that choice kind of got you to where you at?
Yeah, so didn't graduate, Mott. But I had
Wait, why not?
I don't know, man. I have this problem with finishing school, man. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later, but it's just I went to a conference that we did. Like we would sell popcorn to raise money. Heather and the team would raise money for the the music education program or something like that.
Okay.
And we went to Grand Rapids for a Michigan Music Conference. And I met a couple of professors from Saginaw Valley, and Dr. Towns was just like, man, this would be a great fit for you, different things like that. And I was super excited about it. And I felt like it would be super beneficial for me for a couple of reasons. When I got to Mott, and I say like in 2013, I started having seizures.
Okay.
And so I didn't feel comfortable going off to Western, which is where the majority of my friends went, Michelle.
So like seizures as in like just was it like a cause of something else?
Not sure. I did EKGs, EEGs. I got everything done on my brain. They couldn't find anything, thankfully. But they still to this day don't know what caused them or what was causing them.
And you still get them today?
The last one I had was probably a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And but yeah, that's pretty much what had happened. I felt like Saginaw Valley was close enough to where if something was to happen to me in that time, family could come. I was like 30 to 35 minutes out versus 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, just to rely on my friends. I don't think my mom would have been at that time, comfortable with that decision. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you was meant to stay home.
Yeah. I think so.
That's kind of a sign. Yeah, you was meant to stay home.
For sure.
So how did you use that opportunity to stay close? How did that like build? Did you like have more family time than you would expect? Because did you ultimately like leave Saginaw and end up in KZoo?
No, so I had I've been in Mott for a while, and then in 2016 I went to Saginaw Valley.
Okay.
And then I took a semester off, which was this previous semester.
Okay.
So I'm still like on the fence about going back or whatnot. But it did allow me a chance to get closer to family. It allowed me another job opportunity at a church, at my home church, which was where everything started at Saginaw, at Victorious Believers Ministries. And
from Saginaw?
Am I from?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
I just I would just commute there with my uncle who played organ.
Okay.
He was the minister of music there. But yeah, man, it was like it allowed me to really see things for what it was, to say, okay, what's priority right now in your life? Not in your friend's life, not in, of course the institution was a greater, in my opinion, it was a greater decision. But I think that just getting my education at that time was what I was about. Like, okay, let me just go off to school, make sure I can get some things done. And yeah, so it did allow that closeness with relatives and even education opportunities as well.
So what changed?
So what changed?
Yeah.
Man, between from when I went to school?
From you going to school to you no longer being in school.
Oh, man, dude. Wow. I think that a lot of times we are accustomed to certain systems by default and not by choice. And, society, like in the way that I look at it is, you look back at when people like my grandfather or even my father's generation, they could come out of school, get a trade or get in the GM for years.
Okay.
Then there was like everyone wanted to go to, the military or the armed services or whatever it may be. I don't even know if I said that right. But then there was a huge education situation, right? Like there was a huge deal on education. Like there was a moment where education, going off to college, could guarantee you a job. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Now it's like I feel like we're in a entrepreneurial phase. Okay. Everyone's starting a lot of different businesses. Everyone's starting a lot of different everyone's starting their own thing. They realize that their happiness is more important than the success that people push on them.
Right.
And I think it's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. And I had that awakening where it was just like, I feel more comfortable doing exactly what I want to do. And I'm willing to take that risk. I may not get paid right away. I may not have this. But I'd rather do something that I'm completely happy with or I'm completely enjoying than to be successful at something that I hate.
Okay.
And at the time I was doing music education, I knew I wanted to teach music, but I didn't want to teach it in a classroom setting. So I had to figure out, throughout my own ways, like, okay, I'm going to use education to learn as much as I can, to teach it the way I want to teach it, and to implement it into myself as an artist. So it was like, oh, okay, you might not need college. Some of the most wealthiest people didn't need college. Some of the people in college try to teach wealth, but they're not wealthy. Strange.
Did you feel like you was forced to go to school?
I feel like sometimes the pressure of family is like, you need an education. And I feel like sometimes people feel like you can't educate yourself unless you're in college. When it's like, I go to YouTube University. You know what I'm saying?
10 hours, baby.
Yeah,
10 hours a day.
10
you know
hours
what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's like, man, I mean, I've learned more about being a band leader and the negotiation skills and the camaraderies of how to properly send emails and do. I've learned more of that on my own than music programs. You know, which was more geared towards the information of the skill set you're going to need, which I understand is, is very vital. But I feel like sometimes schools don't do a good job at implementing the totality of what an artist needs. You know, I have friends who went to Saginaw Valley for graphic arts or graphic design, and they paint and do all types of things. And they was like, dude, I quit school and I just started like really pushing my social media and like posting my art. And it's boom. Now he's in New York, about to work for Rock Nation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's all it took.
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
What am I doing here? Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be a Cardinal anymore, So, yeah, a lot of different things happen, man, in that change. And a lot of, I'm getting married in August.
Okay.
And so it was like a lot of different moving compartments where I was like, I feel like this is the best decision. Even if I were to go back to school, it would be exactly when, exactly where, and exactly for, which is the most important, exactly for what I want to do.
Okay. So let's go back to the you're getting married in August, right?
Right.
And we follow each other on Instagram, and I saw the announcement.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that, right?
Okay.
Now, was that part of the rollout?
What's that?
Part of the musical rollout?
No, man.
Because it was really well produced.
Honestly, man, I just...
Y'all had a video, edited it up, you know what I'm saying?
You're talking about the actual proposal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, so the idea was, like, COVID had hit, and I knew I wanted to propose. I knew I wanted to get married, right? And I wanted to do...
Can we back up? How did you meet this young lady?
So when my first music single came out, she did some some promotion for me on social media. I met her.
Was you trying to holler then?
No, not at all. She was in a relationship. Okay. And I had met her again later in that year at Raspberries. It was like they had like a
I didn't know you went to the club.
Oh yeah. They had like a they had like, oh yeah, you hear that?
Oh yeah.
Hashtag oh yeah.
I'm in there.
But no, they had like a mixer going on. It was like at 501 Grill, and then you can come over to Raspberries. That was that night. It was around like Christmas Eve time.
Okay. And
we met there, and then a couple months in, I was like, man, why am I still searching? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. I knew her family. You know what I'm saying? She's
from church or like?
Yeah, from
okay,
church.
So you knew her family before you knew her?
Yeah, actually, yeah, her parents.
So they was vouching for you for day one.
Well, they really couldn't remember me. They used to host. They used to host the Monday Manna.
Okay.
Yeah, they used to do Monday Manna at U of M Flint. And I would come in with the other musicians, but I was a quiet guy, in public sometimes. But yeah, man, so that's pretty much how it happened. We met at Raspberries, and the rest is history, man. The rest is history. So,
wow.
So yeah.
That's very interesting because like I said, like I feel like just from talking to you, I feel like we move in similar ways. We kind of react to situations in similar ways. It's almost like I'm looking at a mirror. Like, I didn't finish school. I did finish but I didn't finish school, and it was because of the similar reason. Yo, I want to make music. Like, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's very important. And so I see that you have this L on your neck, and it was in the video.
Yeah.
It was in there a lot.
Yeah, man.
It was some subliminal messaging.
Yeah.
In that video. Can you speak to that?
Wow. I mean, my baby gave me this, man, and it really, the simplest form of it is it stands for Leah. You know, she got me a so my name is Anthony, of course, and her name is Leah. So we have this combined photo album called the LA Times.
Okay.
Right. Stars aligned. That's what we're all about. And I mean, and it's funny because I live by this quote that says, you know, I just want to live, lead, and love by example. No matter what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm teaching. I don't care if I'm speaking to somebody. No matter where I am, I want to make sure that I'm living by example, leading people by example, and loving by example. And so that also was like representation of the L. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not a loser, you know. I'm not a loser. I'm not. No,
I just saw it sprinkled in that video.
Yeah.
And before we get to that,
Yeah.
I want to go back to the COVID, right?
Okay.
The COVID project.
Right.
And even that, right? You got all your friends.
Yeah,
and
man.
it seems like you are leading this initiative, right? Because I don't think that, you know, your friends are pushing you and then it's going on your channel and stuff like that. Leader of Men. That was like the first thing that I've saw when I saw that.
Wow.
Those 5-6 videos, right? Leader of Men. How long that did you know that you was like destined to like lead?
Wow.
Like when did you figure this out?
Man, you know, it's funny because when you think about it, you know, like as I think about it now, you know, I look back over like when I went through school and when I was in elementary, high school, middle school, I always was a leader. I always did stuff that people were scared to do. I mean, whether it was spitballing a teacher, putting tacks in their chair, making somebody laugh, getting kicked out, playing sports, kissing a girl. I always felt comfortable showing people how to do something. And it's so funny because I've always been like that. Now that you present that question to me, I guess I say maybe 2 years ago.
When you knew that
About 2 years ago.
you got something within you to make people say, okay, I want to follow this guy.
Yeah.
And so from there, let's bring that back to the religion, right?
Right.
So, you know, Jesus had his disciples, and I'm not saying that you're Jesus, but it takes a lot for a man to follow another man.
Right. It
You
does.
know what I'm saying? And you got to have certain qualities, certain, you know, and then to keep the pack together. Let's talk about your team.
Okay.
You mentioned Terrence, right? You mentioned Tyler. Who else is behind the scenes? I know your girl, fiance Leah. She's behind there. I saw another name in the production, Gabrielle.
Oh, Gabe Freeman.
Gabe. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, Gabe is not a part of the team. He was part of the Go Take Media who shot the video.
Okay.
So the people that shot the video was Clark Bishop, Gabriel Freeman, and Go Take Media. So I hired them to do the video.
Okay.
But others on the team, such as Andre McGee, who's a drummer, he's like my go-to guy. He's my assistant.
Okay.
My sister.
Well, you have an assistant.
Yeah, man. It gets cloudy, man. It gets cloudy, so you have to realize you need help and treat people like human. I think that's the main thing that keeps people together. Is honesty, transparency, and knowing what you're doing. Yeah, my younger sister, she's in the world of fashion, so she's all about the fashion side of things. And the band, I had a meeting with a guy today who plays bass for the Arabic Orchestra. And he's from Ann Arbor. He's joining the team. Caleb Robertson is my drummer. My guitar player is from Western. So I have these different components. One's from Kalamazoo, right? So the guitar player, you know, he's from Indonesia.
Okay.
You know, then this guy does Arabic music. Caleb's from Flint. I'm from Flint. You know, Andre. We're all these teams of people. And I think that one of the things that people really appreciate is that you have to be professional, you have to be good with people, and you have to be good in business. I learned that from Mike League. I call it the professional triangle. You can be good with people, you can be good at what you do, but if you're not good in business, there's an opportunity for you to miss, or you can get robbed. Okay. You can be great in business, you can be great with people, but if you're not good at what you do, you need to probably change professions. Gotcha. So those three things always are in my forefront of my mind. How do I reach out to these people? How do I connect with these individuals in a respectable manner? What is it that they're trying to convey to me? Am I being transparent? This is all band leadership. This is stuff that I've learned from church, dealing with choir members who won't show up. And not only church, but just YouTube. They learn this in school.
All right.
You know, there's nothing against school, like I said. That's just it was geared to something different.
Right.
But I would say when it comes to a team, being a good listener and not always real, especially when people are helping you. You know, you want to make sure that you hear what it is that they have to say to help you.
Right.
You know, if I'm driving, I can't be the window. I can't be the passenger. I'm driving, so I need someone who knows. I have to trust those wheels. I have to trust the door. I have to trust whoever's the engine. You know what I'm saying? So I may be steering the car, feimstro. I'm steering feimstro, but I have other components of this vehicle who I have to trust.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So if that makes sense, I didn't mean to go into
that makes a lot of sense, and we can tell, you know, just looking at the branding, looking at the video, looking at all the moving pieces that happen into your rollout, right?
Yeah, man. Ooh.
The Yako hats, you know what I'm saying? All of that is like,
feimstro.com.
okay, he's serious.
Oh yeah.